Okay. Welcome everybody. Come on in. Let me just get set up. The previous session just ended, so need just a few moments. Presentation community. Correct one. Okay, welcome everybody. Just giving everybody a couple of minutes to get over here, and then we'll get started. And I'll just probably share a screen. Okay. Sweet. So how is everybody doing? Okay. Looks like Zoom just has hidden from me the chat. So if you want to say anything to me, please use the chat on Pathable, which I can see very easily. Okay, so yeah, I'll be giving a few more moments. As I mentioned before, I just finished previous presentation with Jan Vilnas about Superface. I hope you enjoyed that. There's also a free sign up or to get into closed beta with Superface. So I'm super excited about that. But now let's talk about Meteor Community Packages and all the projects around. And I named this a year in review. And as I go towards, as I reach the QA, feel free to raise your hands if you want to, get some speaking and or ask questions or kind of add new things, because it's been a long year. And yeah, a lot of things have happened, and I might have definitely missed certain things. So first things first, hello everybody, I'm Jan Dvořák. I am with the Meteor Community Packages since the very beginning. I'm a freelance contractor right now with Meteor Software, working on Meteor. And you can find me on social media as Storyteller or Storyteller CZ, which is for GitHub and maybe Twitter, but I don't use Twitter very much, so that's that. Or you can just email me on email. So I will kind of split this into two parts, kind of the more of a technical parts. There's some more introductions to talk about packages, what has been happening on the technical side, and then probably more lengthier what's happening on the soft projects, and eventually at the end of the discussion. So let me introduce you some of the people who have been active or kind of leading the way in Meteor Community Packages. So that will be me, Kali Copley, who started all of this in this entire initiative, and Jan Kuster has been also instrumental in many of the projects. We also have people like Mitar, Harry Adel, and countless others. First of all, I would like to thank everybody who has been involved in Meteor Community Packages, helping to keep the packages maintained, to move them under its umbrella, so that great community packages just don't die and that their legacy continues and that they are available. So one more time, thank you very much. Without you, Meteor would have been much worse off. So first, updates about our biggest packages. Aldeed collection 2 had this year dependencies updated. There was some internal code refactoring, more testing, and we started also discussing things about version 4 and how to change things a little bit. Specifically, there is one feature where we are like thinking, yeah, that's a nice feature, but it does not currently fit into its current paradigm. And so we were like thinking, like, if we introduce this feature, then that would be version 4. So that's what's new. And we had also a couple of bug fixes going on. Other than that, this package is super stable, so not really any big changes. Aligning roles, we had a compatibility and dependencies patches as part of accounts 2.0 release, which was backported to version 1 and version 2 if you're still on those versions. So you can enjoy the new Meteor versions without the need to update aligning roles. And other than that, a couple of bug fixes, but again, this package is very stable and there's no need to worry or to have like major work happening here. Speaking of major work, tmeasday check-npm version, which is used also by many other packages, had version 1 released, which was meant rewriting it in TypeScript. We updated Semver package, and we set it to be from Meteor 2.0. And that's also related to TypeScript, but also that we want to encourage people to update to new versions. And also because since this is primarily a package for packages, it's meant for newer packages and to get them updated as well. So for the other packages that we have in our repository, most of them primarily dependencies updates, some small code updates and bug fixes, and our main thing is compatibility releases. So they're always up to date with the latest from Meteor, so you can always keep them using and don't worry about breaking changes on updates, at least from Meteor Community Packages. We had also new additions. So Community Packages Fast Render is a fork from Dvorak's Fast Render. And that's sadly because Meteor hacks that entire organization. We have nobody is responding to us and we cannot transfer any of those packages under our umbrella. So these are the same cases. Like we also earlier did the same thing for Picker, which is a server-side router. So these are few cases where we cannot migrate packages under an umbrella. Then we have to kind of do forks, and we'll be directing people to those forks in Guide and everywhere else we can. Big thing happened this year, Meteor testing organization. All of that has been moved under Meteor Community Packages. So we immediately went to work to update the packages, and people who are interested about what used to be Meteor testing, we can jump in and help us out with updating those packages and getting new features in, because we can guarantee that once we have features in and bug fixes, they will be released. So go in, help us out, and become contributor. It's Oktoberfest, so it's the best best time of the year to get started. Last addition that I remember was just recently, which was Slay collection extension. We are still working on fixing that one up to current Meteor, but hopefully soon we'll have that all ready to release. I added some compatible releases. Jan Kuster is right now working on testing and other related things, so you can expect a new version of that one pretty soon. So that's, I would say, it for the technical side. And just ping me in a chat if I have forgotten about anything. We've grown pretty large over the past 2 years, so there's things happening that I have no idea about. So it can very easily happen that I forget something. So let's talk about other projects that we have ongoing under our umbrella. Already talked about people. Looks like I forgot to remove this here. I will be talking about our website, Packosphere, newsletter, impact, and meetups in this order. So first of all, if you don't know, we have a community website, meteor.js.community, which is styled similar like the docs and guide. It's kind of the middle of the way where I want to get this website eventually. And that's kind of big this year. If you remember last year, it was super basic and almost no design at all. So we have a new look. The content is much more expanded, featuring a lot of the packages that we maintain. Obviously, some more updates are needed. So if you want to help in non-technical way, you can always go in and update the website. So what it does, it lists packages, it lists our project, there's a Slack invite link and a newsletter sign up. So very nice looking, say, crossroad for these community efforts. Also, if you want to kind of add your own project that you're working on, just ping me and we can discuss it. You can probably add a new section there for other community projects as well. So another big project by Kelly Copley is called Packosphere, which is an open source alternative to Atmosphere, which he started working on. And this year it was, I could say, officially released. And it's just a different take on how to display package information compared to Atmosphere. For example, also displays beta version, which is sometimes interesting if you are working with those packages. And it highlights, as you can see on the picture on the left bottom, it highlights community packages. One thing that it's still missing is it, at least last time I checked, it does not highlight deprecated packages, which is something that Atmosphere has. So both of them offer different things. But it's definitely an interesting project, check it out. Now then, community newsletter, which is a project that I have started and manage, which is a occasional community newsletter with news and what's happening in the community, usually coming out with around new releases, feature releases of Meteor, or if things like impact is approaching, then there's quite a few of them. We had, last time I checked before this presentation, 208 subscribers, and I'm sorry to say, or maybe not so sorry, that it will be discontinued. There are kind of 3 reasons for this. Is first of all, Meteor software has their own newsletter, so kind of the main reason of informing when a new Meteor version is out. That reason is kind of no longer valid for the newsletter exist. Another thing is that I have been working on this on my own, and it's kind of hard to get support. So it's starting to take quite a lot of time to handle, or maybe it's like not the same, but my time to do things like this has decreased significantly. And I have been getting an increasing conflict of interest because I also have my own newsletter, which is for my sponsors. So for a certain time, it was fine because there was a lot of overlapping news, but I think my time to kind of manage two newsletters is no longer existing. So that means that the community newsletter will be as is discontinued. It will probably continue in some form, but it will be even more occasional. And who knows, maybe it will be just a couple of times during the year. Probably again around impact, or if something major interesting is happening with Meteor community. So there's a question from Kevin: where can we sign up for Meteor software newsletter? Let me open page. There are kind of different kinds of newsletter. Let's see. If I remember correctly, kind of everybody is in a way sign up if you have Meteor developers account. So you will get, and if you're signed up for Galaxy, you will get the announcement, and it's, I'm not sure if you are right now, if you need to opt in or opt out. Probably Elise will, or Philippe will know the best on that area. But I'll look for that specifically in towards the end when we have more time to look and I actually to log in. So it's take a bit. But yeah, for me, it's that I have my own for my sponsors, and I really want to provide that service for them. So another big project that's just recently finished its third year of existence is the community survey. Earlier in the day, I did a preview analysis of the results. So you can check that talk later on if you want to. More of that is going to be coming out later on with the details and stuff like that. And so just a bit of a history. We had 57 responses in 2019 and 207 responses in 2020. And this year we had 298 responses. There were some hello. looks like the screen died on me. Anybody can tell me what did you just see? Okay, so looks like we had some hiccup, probably internet on my side. I apologize. I don't think it was. It took too long. But can you tell me where did I cut off in the chat, please? Did I get? Oh, just now for this to load. Okay, so extra challenges this year. So so let me backtrack to that. As I was saying, there were some extra challenges this year, and it's primarily because I opened the survey to have like more written entries, or people kind of took more on the written entries, and so that's a challenge to analyze, especially in such a short time. So in the future, there's going to be less of them. So it's much more easier to put, numbers to it or graphs to it. And yeah, I will have a lot harder time this year to go through all of those and kind of clean them up and make sure that everything is anonymized, because people, some of them are super happy to tell you who they are, which is not something I, even though it makes me happy that people are happy sharing with who they are and stuff like that. It's not necessarily something that I want to be publicly out there, so I need to make sure. Another point was that some people have a very recognizable style of how they express themselves, or they it kind of becomes very easy to guess who they are from what they put in their answers. So I will have, I would say, very hard time figuring out how to make it sure that it becomes anonymized, and so that will delay getting the data out there this year a bit more. My eventual goal with the survey is to have a actual app for the survey. So I kind of want to merge the community website and app together. But I was also thinking maybe I can ask, I think it's his name, Seba. No, not Seba. Sasha Grief, who is running the state of CSS and JS, if he would be interested in kind of adding Meteor into his repertoire, because he has an amazing tool. By the way, both state of CSS and JS are built on Meteor on his Vulkan framework. So it would nicely, I think, fit in because of how he has built it. So I think it would be really nice. So that's one option, and I will be looking into that. And feel free to give me your feedback on on my thoughts here. You're super welcome. So Meteor Impact, that has been started by me as well last year, and we had 450 attendees altogether in 2020, and we are almost at the same number this year, 438 people as of right now, and I am guessing, as is usually the case, it's going to increase towards the end because it's a free event, so people sign up at the last minute, if they can. But in a way, that's a bit of a disappointment. So we'll have to do a review and see, what kind of when we don't have more people here, and what to do for next year. This year it was also transferred under Meteor software ownership, and hackathon, which was run this year, that was completely Meteor software thing. We'll see how these things develop in future with impact. So another new initiative with all the lockdowns going on are Meetups, meetups.meteor.com. It uses also Pathable platform, so all of the interface here, if you go there, you'll be very familiar with it. And it's for online meetings and in-person meetings, so it's kind of hybrid. It's prepared for both of them. And the idea is to build local groups. So you can see we have New York City, Prague, Grados in Brazil, Tehran, Budapest, the Deutsch group for all the German speakers in Germany and Switzerland and Austria, also known as the DACH group. Then one for Korea and one for Poland from Wrocław. Eventually, hopefully these groups are going to splinter into city groups, the big ones like Korea and Deutsch, if everything keeps on growing. Right now, that's managed by me and local group organizers. So all of the groups are, let's say, independent on when they house their meetings. And as I said before, we can facilitate both in-person meetings and online meetings. So mostly it has been online meetings so far. You could have seen some of those talks on those in the recap overnight or in the afternoon for some Americans yesterday. So that's another initiative I would like to really encourage you to go in, sign up, find your local group, get involved. That's the most important thing. Get involved with your groups and meet people and people that you can connect with around Meteor. And that's gotten me to the end. And I have had a quick look in regards to the Meteor newsletter, and it's tied up to your account. Especially if you use Galaxy, then you'll be getting it. So that's it, and I have to actually find one, but I will be able to do that because right now I have a lot of emails, email notification from Impact. So my apologies, I will not be able to give you exact details where that is managed. So now is the time for your questions, thoughts, ideas, anything else you want to add. And I'm now in a view that's much bigger, so better for me. So feel free to, for example, raise a hand or write into any of those chats. I'm not able to monitor all of them, or let me know if I have again dropped off for a while so I can retrace my steps. So give you a bit time to write or raise your hands. Don't be shy. I don't bite. And as we have talked earlier, let me just put this out here. Okay, I see. So one of the reasons why I'm kind of scaling down my involvement and kind of stopping the community newsletters, because I have newsletters on my sponsors page. So if you, since we are on the talk on sponsors, I would like to encourage you to do two things. First of all, visit the sponsors of the conference. They are amazing. Without them, it wouldn't be possible to do. Pathable has provided this platform. Meteor Software has provided marketing and a lot of other help with getting this started. AG Data and Wasco were amazing, good, providing some financial help, and Wasco also with talks. So many thanks to them. We also have SendGrid, which was contributing to the Meteor Hackathon. So you can go either to their websites or visit their booths or booths of like other people involved. So Superface and Meteor Universe have here also booths to click on Vasco. You can see here information about them, links to them, and you can connect with them. If you want to meet, start a new conversation with them, or just click on the people involved and connect directly with them. And next thing, I would also like to, consider, you to sponsor community contributors and and community projects, because that's what's going to keep things going. Sadly, it's not free doing these things. So, and you can maybe get, more services from them as well, besides just, besides just, making sure that they can spend more time on open source. So one last call for questions, suggestions, anything else that comes to your mind regarding community or anything in general. I can play here with OBS and have a great time. So let me check one more application. All right, and if you have like any new suggestions for the community, so let me jump back. We are on, as I mentioned, we have meteor.js.community. That's the website where you can find, sign up for a newsletter or to get into Slack. Here's a link. And here also all the other information to reach out to people and visit different parts. And we have some news here from Twitter, but I have Next.js and I have disabled Twitter because I don't want to have anything to do with them. And you can also go to GitHub, Meteor Community Packages. That's our GitHub organization. And over here under organization, you can propose issues, what you want to move in, or we have also a place here for discussions if you want to talk about something other than that, like some new projects, new packages, have questions, or you want to something show and tell that you don't want to put in on forums yet. So that's all available here. Is there anything else that you would like me to show you, or just write in? All right. So since I don't see any more questions or anything going on, I would like to thank you for your attention. One more time again, thank for everybody involved with Meteor Community Packages, making sure that the community is rolling, that the packages are maintained and compatible. Things are fine, and obviously huge thanks to the impact sponsors, without which this would not be possible. And I will see you in about 20 minutes or so at our next chill session. So now time for restroom breaks or to grab something to drink. And I hope you'll be back with some tea or coffee and can talk about interesting things related to Meteor or whatever else. As you can probably remember, for those who have been with us the entire time, don't get me started on Japan, because will take up the entire show session. So come up with some other ideas to talk about, or just come to meet some great, amazing people. So once again, thank everybody for coming, and I will see you around the conference.